What's up, everyone? Is anybody here? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Somebody type in the chat that you can hear me if you can hear me. Um, super excited to be here. And let's go. Exactly. Zag Scorn. What's happening? Can you hear me? Zag Scorn, can you hear me? Just want to make sure everything is set up and working right. We are talking. Okay, yes. All right, good. What's happening, guys? So I am super pumped that you guys are here. Truth be told, I really haven't done much live streaming, as in like zero up until this year, right? This year when I launched the White Label Empire and the community. Basically, once a week, I go in there for about 2 hours. And originally, I was like, oh, I'm just going to do it for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And I love it so much that I'm like, well, why not just keep rolling, right? And so basically every week of White Label Empire, if you guys haven't checked it out, there's a YouTube channel and then a community. I basically go in there for like 2 hours and we talk all about business. Basically, the first hour is me like just kind of like riffing on different things, talking about business, talking about different things that I'm struggling with, whether or not it's at Pete and Pedro or Tish Hanley or one of my other companies. And it's just a time for me to kind of talk and connect. And then we basically we open it up to have people ask questions, and I give my incredible worldly wisdom because I've literally owned over 20 businesses throughout my life. One of them is why we're here today, and that's Pete and Pedro. And so I thought, you know what? I love this so much. Why not come on here? I don't know how long, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like whatever. If you guys have questions, like we'll rock with those. But I thought, why not come on here, talk about some of the things that I'm excited about, some of the things that I'm doing or we're doing here at Pete and Pedro in terms of our company, and really just connect and just kind of chat a little bit with you guys. And basically, I just want to say thank you. I want to start this video off by just thanking each and every one of you. When I think about kind of what's happened over the past like 10 years with Pete and Pedro, it's honestly like mind blowing, right? I started this business in a spare bedroom in my house for $3,000, right? I got 5 products. I got like 96 units of each. It was putty, it was cream, it was paste, it was pomade, and it was clay, right? Those 5 products, I got 96 units, right? And I was pumped. I had it, everything was all situated. I got my boxes, I got everything going. And what it's become over the course of the past 10 years has just been insane. And the reason why it's insane is because you guys have been so amazing, supporting us, good times, bad times. It's honestly inspiring to me. And you guys have helped me, make my dream come true. And so I just want to thank each and every one of you. And on that note, right now, limited time, literally for the next like 2 hours. 2 hours, this will be live. If you guys want anything from Pete and Pedro, we're doing a 25% off discount. If you use the code LIVE25, anything you want. If I talk about a product that you guys are like, yo, I want some of that, I need some of that, right? Go grab it. 25% off, LIVE25. The code's only going to be live for about, I don't know, let's say 2 hours, maybe 3. We'll see. But anyway, the code is live. So today, what I want to kind of start with is tell you about something that I'm really excited about. 2 things. All right. Number one is we have been working and developing a new fragrance, right? It's called Icon. I'm not going to drop the name of the inspiration fragrance, but I will say that this bad boy could quite possibly be the best smelling fragrance I've ever smelled. And yes, I'm saying that, even though I think Creed Aventus and Rebel and all that, you guys know how that story goes, right? It was the heavily inspired Creed Aventus fragrance Rebel, right? Well, this new one, we've been working on it. We actually had a fragrance that we thought it was going to be, right? We thought it was going to be this one fragrance, super expensive, luxurious, and all that, right? Well, we got it. We had a bunch of, and the way that like things like this happen, like we'll go to our manufacturer, we'll say, we want to start a business or we want to start a fragrance. This is what we want the inspiration to be. They'll make it different strengths, and then they'll send it to us, right? And we'll spray it and we'll try it and we'll go around the warehouse and we'll be like, yo, hey, Zabi, Matt, come here, smell this, And basically this last one, we were super pumped and excited about, but it just didn't hit, right? It was like, it smelled good and it would probably do all right, but we wanted one to like literally like knock people's socks off. And especially with it coming into like spring and summer, we're like, yo, we got to do better than this. And so I spent almost 4 hours in Neiman Marcus, right? By the time I left that place, I had a pounding headache. I couldn't smell anything other than fragrances, but I went through, right? And I just smelled and tested and smelled and tried and smelled. And then I would ask people, I would call people over, like in the store they were shopping, right? I'd find a woman and be like, excuse me, ma'am, could you come here and help me out for a second? Do you like this or this better? Like I literally like spent 4 hours of like research, talking to the sales associate, smelling different fragrances, grabbing like this fragrance from like Creed, running over to this fragrance from, Roja or whatever that, however you pronounce it, right? I'm doing all sorts of like mad scientist stuff, right? I'm mixing fragrances. It was nuts. I was there for 4 hours, but I landed on the most epic fragrance ever. That is strong, it is sexy, and it is going to literally just knock the panties off those spicy senoritas in a very non-creepy way. I don't mean to get canceled on my first ever YouTube live stream, but we're live on YouTube for the first time. Anyway, super pumped and excited about Icon. We nailed the formula. We had them basically do different strengths, and we're rocking. And so we have everything all formulated, and we're good to go. Hold on, I'm seeing some comments in the chat. So that's the other part of this. Like if you guys have comments or questions, that's what I want to do in here. I want to answer questions after I talk a little bit about a few of the products that I'm really excited about. All right. What will some hairstyles and hair products that I use a different job interview? Okay, so that's a great question. You're going in a job interview, right? Conservative, right? The more conservative, the better when it comes to a job interview hairstyle. Now, once you get the job, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't care. You want to look respectable, but when you go in for a job interview, this is what I tell people. That is the best you're ever going to look, right? And the employer knows it, right? When you go into a job interview, you better be put together. You better be dressed well. And I would say dress above what you think you actually need to. Now, I'm not saying to wear like a tuxedo or anything like that, but if you're going into a job interview, you want to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward. Your shoes better be nice. They better be clean. You better not wear sneakers. Your pants better be pressed. All right. If you're wearing a suit, good, right? I personally think that wearing a suit is a sign of respect, not only for yourself, but the establishment and the person that you're talking to. And then in your grooming, here's the deal. Beards and facial hair, I would say if you are in the job market, having it isn't necessarily the best thing. All right. If you've got a big beard, I would probably whack it if you want to give yourself the best chance of basically getting the job. If you've got any tattoos, you better cover them, which is one of the reasons why I don't want you getting tattoos on your face, your neck, or your hands, or anywhere you can see. All right. Because people do form opinions on you about that. And if you have visible tattoos, that may interfere with you getting, the best job of your life because somebody may have a problem with tattoos. Anyway, your hairstyle is another one of those things where you got to think about, right? You want to make sure that hairstyle is I would say recently cut, because honestly, like it looks better when you're edged up around your ears or low on your neck, right? If you've just got like, it looks like a grown out hairstyle or it's not styled properly, right? That's not good. It's not sending the right message. You also want to make sure that your hair is clean, because I'm not saying that you're dirty, but some dudes I've been like, my God, you just look like a scuzzy, filthy animal, right? Don't be that guy. And your hairstyle, I would say err on the side of more conservative. If you're somebody that normally has like really like free flowing hair, comb it over, right? Maybe get a higher hold product, slick it over to the side a little bit, make it look polished and professional. All right. Now, once you get the job, then you can let your hair down, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. But that's the deal. You want to make sure that you're putting the best foot forward. All right. Speaking of hairstyle, real quick, I'm ready for these questions for the record. I love answering questions. I want to talk about two products that I've been rocking lately. All right. As you can see, my hair looks super soft and natural, like I've got nothing in it. Right. I am actually using 3 products in my hair right now. All right. The way that I've been rocking it lately. All right. I used to talk all the time about, sea salt spray and putty. Where's my putty? I got soft putty around. Soft putty. So for you guys out there, just real quick, that don't like regular putty, if you've ever tried our putty, right, it's a hard product, right? You dig it out and then you really got to emulsify it. And that's another like hairstyling pro tip that a lot of guys don't do. Whether or not you're using a product like a putty, a paste, a pomade, or even like a clay, you got to heat that bad boy up. All right. The emulsification, it's all about activating, right? When you activate that hair product, boom, right? You slide it in. It's actually making it more pliable. It's also allowing you to get down to the root so that you cover more of the hair shaft. One of the reasons why your hair goes flat, or it just doesn't stand up is that A, you're not using a pre-styler, B, you might be using the wrong product, or C, you might not be applying the product properly. All right. You got to make sure you're really getting it down into the root. All right. And to take it to the next level, you got to make sure that you're using some type of pre-styler. Pre-stylers are not just like some like abstract, like crazy thing that I'm just trying to sell you. They are legit game changers when it comes to your hair, right? The hairstyling, like a sea salt spray, I used to think it was bullshit, honestly. The first time somebody was like, yo, you should try sea salt spray, I'm like, sea salt spray, give me a break, right? It doesn't do anything. And so then I tried it because, well, I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Everybody's talking about it. Let me try it. And it was like, boom, like my world was rocked. All of a sudden, my hair had more weightless volume. It had more texture. And I'm the guy that wants more volume, right? I love a soft, weightless feel and look to my hair, right? Depending on the hair length, depending on the style I'm going for, I like it to be basically very full because it A is going to give me a little bit of height because I'm a short dude, but it also just makes my hair look and feel better. And so anyway, all right, the soft putty, this is the product. I've been using putty since we basically invented it. It is an incredibly versatile product, right? If you guys have tried it, you know it's awesome, right? So I've been basically using a sea salt spray about 5, 6, 7 squirts after the shower. I towel dry my hair and then apply this. And then typically the way that I was doing it was I was applying a little bit of putty, right, in my hair. And then I'd style it, right, with a comb. And then I'd blow dry it into place. And then I'd finish it off with a little bit more putty just to basically get it to lock into place. Well, then the game changed with this, the texture powder. Now, here's the deal. If you guys haven't tried a texture powder, you are missing out. Once again, I didn't believe it. I was like, texture powder, come on. That shit can't be that good, right? And then I tried one and I'm like, whoa, hold up. I am a man that can admit when he's wrong. And I was definitely wrong with this product. This has honestly become like our number 2 best-selling product behind the sea salt spray. And the cool thing is that for me, I use them together. Most people use them together. All right. Now, the cool thing about a texture powder, all right, the reason why I love it so much is that it is crazy, wickedly versatile. If your hair is short, it works as a standalone product to basically allow you to style it. It's going to give your hair that weightless volume, but it's also going to allow you to kind of like readjust and fix your hair and restyle it throughout the day without it going flat. And that's the thing. If you're somebody that struggles with hair that goes flat or it gets a little bit greasy looking, right? This stuff basically eliminates that. It eliminates it almost immediately, almost like a dry shampoo, but it's got a lot more texture, right? So here's the deal. The way I style my hair now, I've kind of changed it a little bit. And it's been awesome. I will still use the pre-styler after the shower, right? I towel dry my hair, this, and then what I'll do is I won't apply my putty yet. I've been basically then blow drying my hair or letting it air dry and then basically letting it get in there and get it fluffy, right? But then I will apply my texture powder. Now, I've already got product in my hair, but I'm just going to show you kind of how it works, right? You use this stuff and then you just sprinkle a little bit, right? Just a little bit in there here, maybe a little bit right there, boom. And then you're just going to work it down, right? And what you're going to find is that bang, your hair like automatically, like it styles like almost instantly, right? If you've got medium length hair, it's perfect. If you've got a little bit longer hair and you just want to add a little bit of texture to it, it's perfect. If you've got short hair, maybe doing some type of like modern mullet or like a French crop, and you just want to basically have it down, but just give it a little bit of something, like a little bit of texture and not have it be all flat. This stuff is a must try for every dude. This is, like I said, become our second best product in terms of sales, and the velocity is insane. We're having problems keeping the stuff in stock. Like I said, guys, there's a discount code, limited time, live25. If you guys want to grab whatever products you want to grab from Pete and Pedro, your whole order, you're going to get 25% off for the next 2, possibly 3 hours. Anyway, this stuff is amazing. And then after I use this, typically what I'll do is apply just a little dab of putty over top just to basically lock things into place. Now, I've had a crazy day, so my hair's a little bit nuts right now, but it's amazing. It holds all day long. The volume is insane. It just feels light. It feels fresh. It feels like sexy. And you absolutely going to love these products. All right. So I'm excited about texture powder if you can't tell. And it's definitely something that I feel you should use. But I just got to also mention real quick, it's got to be applied in dry hair. Don't apply it to wet hair. Your hair's got to be dry. Even if you get up in the morning, right? And you're like, oh, I want to style my hair, but I don't really like, you might have those like crazy things in the back, right? Just pat it down, a little bit of water, let it dry, and then boom, a little bit of texture powder, boom, 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 bang, you're ready to rock. I'm telling you, it is a game changer. All that to say, is there a question? Hold on. Any questions? I'm looking here for questions. Aaron, how can I control frizz? I use shampoo, leave-in conditioner, and barely shampoo, but my hair is wavy thick. Sea salt spray makes it more frizzy. Oh yeah, well that's interesting. So we've got a product. I don't know that I have it here in front of me. We've got a bunch of products to manage frizz, but the leave-in conditioner is great. We've also got a smoothing. It's called Smooth. It's basically perfect for somebody who has frizzy hair. It doesn't have a high hold. It's orange. It's in an orange tube. I would check that out and give it a try. Maybe try that as opposed to the leave-in conditioner. Another option is a few drops of argan oil, right? Argan oil. Do I have it around here somewhere? Yep. Right here. I got a whole like setup in front of me. The argan oil, right? A few drops is also great, right? In your hair. And my hair by the end of this live stream is going to look like crap. So, all right, I'm just telling you, right? The argan oil is literally like liquid gold, all right? If you're somebody that has or suffers from dry hair, argan oil, awesome. If you're somebody that wants to add a little bit of shine, right? Awesome. And what'll happen is when you put it in, right, you can almost like see it there. My hair's gotten a little bit shiny, right? Well, it's going to soak in, it's going to penetrate. It's great for helping to smooth flyaways and frizz, but also just really hydrate your hair incredibly well. That being said, that actually is a perfect segue to talk about this, right? We now have a shampoo kit. All right. It basically comes with two conditioners, our two most popular conditioners. And then it also comes with a variety of our shampoos. All right. We've got a hydrating shampoo called Hydrate. It's got argan oil like in there that basically is going to help nourish throughout the shampooing process. All right. And another just pro tip I'd like to give you guys when you're shampooing and conditioning, one of the problems that guys have, or one of the mistakes I should say, is they put it in real quick and they rinse it right out. Right. No. Stop. Chill. What I'd recommend to better execute and utilize these products, what you want to do is want to let it like soak in and chill for a little bit. All right. Also, another pro tip, shampoos, conditioners, combos. If you ever see them in terms of like in the store, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a shampoo conditioner. Don't believe the hype. They are two different products. They do two different things. A shampoo, right? That is supposed to clean your scalp. It is supposed to remove. It is supposed to extract. It is supposed to basically get all the dirt and grime and oil and shit and hair product and everything that builds up on your scalp and on your hair. It's supposed to remove it, all right? That's what it does. And then a conditioner, whoop, flip it around, it is going back in and it is smoothing, hydrating, and basically helping to handle and cure your hair cuticle. Your hair cuticle or the hair shaft, if you look at it under a microscope, it looks like it's got scales on it, right? And when your hair is dry and brittle, all right, if you looked at your hair underneath the microscope, it would look like a pine tree. It's like all these scales just like all out to the side, right? But after using a conditioner or something that hydrates it, like an argan oil or a hydrating shampoo or a conditioner, which, yes, every single one of you should be using a conditioner, right? It actually goes and it smooths all those little scales down. And what's going to happen is your hair is going to be softer. It's going to be sexier. It's going to be more luxurious and just soft and sexy and smoother. And you're not going to typically have the flyaways and frizz like you would if you had that dry hair. And so you want to make sure that you're using the proper shampoo and conditioner because, once again, all shampoos and conditioners weren't created equal, right? Back to the combination shampoo conditioner combos. If you have one of those they just don't work because they do different things, right? They basically like counteract each other. And so you need two different products, all right? When you use your shampoo, here's the deal. It's not just put it on real quick and rinse it out. No, here's how you properly shampoo. And the other thing is you don't need as much as you think you do. One of the other mistakes that guys make is that they use a ton, right? You don't need to use a ton of this stuff. If you're using a high quality shampoo, a high quality conditioner, you just need like a quarter or nickel size amount, right? You just need enough that basically coats your hair, little bit of foam. You don't want it to be all like crazy, like foaming up all over your head, just a little bit, right? You don't need that much. But what you want to do is you apply it and then You want to make sure you're scrubbing your scalp. When you are shampooing your hair, it's not good enough just to do this. That's what a lot of people do, right? If I'm looking at you, yeah, I know some of you. It's like I'm in your shower. That's creepy, but it is, right? You just do this, right? No, 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 no. These fingers, you got to get down in there. When you're shampooing, you put it on, but then you got to get in there. You got to work that scalp. Gentlemen, working the scalp does a few things. A, it's going to help remove the oil, the dirt, the grime that builds up on your scalp, but it also is going to help stimulate blood, right? And that's the other thing. It helps bring blood to the surface of the scalp, which is carrying nutrients that help nourish your hair. If you can't tell, I love hair. I love grooming, but I love hair, right? And so you got to make sure you really give it the business, right? If you don't have a shampoo brush or a scrub, like a shampoo brush, I don't think I, do I have one here? Hang on. Nope, I don't have one here. If you don't have like a shampoo brush, those things are amazing, right? They've got little like plastic like teeth. We sell them at Pete and Pedro. And remember that discount code for the next like 2 hours, Live 25 is going to give you 25% off everything. Anyway, it's got these like little rubber, like it looks like spikes, right? But they're soft. And oh my God, it feels so good using that on your hair, right? Just go over it. But you want to leave it chill for a few minutes, right? So what I'd recommend is if you're going to be shampooing, put your shampoo in, leave it chill, right? And then wash your body, right? Shampoo almost like first. That should be like after you get wet, right? Put that in first and then proceed to wash the rest of your stinky booty, right? You want to wash the rest of your body, but leave the shampoo in for a few minutes and then rinse it. And then condition, right? Conditioning is a critical part of the equation that a lot of dudes don't do because they're like, I'm a dude. I don't need conditioner. And I'm like, if you're a dude and you want hair that doesn't suck and you want hair that isn't damaged and brittle and fragile and dry and crusty and all crazy, you definitely do. All right. You definitely do need a conditioner. All right. So anyway, back to this kit real quick before we get to some of these questions. All right. So in this kit, right, it's a sample. It basically it allows you to try a few different shampoos. All right. We've got two conditioners. We've got the classic peppermint conditioner, which is amazing. It's soothing. It smells incredible. But we also have the power conditioner, which is infused with biotin. Biotin. All right. That nutrient. It's a B vitamin that is unbelievably amazing for your hair, right? Whether or not you're taking it as a biotin supplement, you guys have all probably heard that, or you're just basically using it in a shampoo or a conditioner. It's amazing for helping to basically thicken and strengthen your hair. All right. Biotin is amazing. It also helps speed up hair growth. So if you're somebody that is, got it right here, is somebody that, what, hang on, I need a drink. I've been talking for what, like 20 minutes now? If you can't tell, I've had a few cups of coffee today. Biotin, boom, right? Biotin right there. Taking a biotin supplement on a daily basis is not just good for hair growth, it's good for hair health. And so if you're somebody that really wants to make sure that you're giving your body the nutrients it needs in order to facilitate healthy hair, all right, biotin is one of those nutrients that is a game changer, right? And so you can buy conditioners and shampoos that actually are infused with biotin. All right, the biotin is going to help strengthen it and thicken it, which brings me to another shampoo. All right, the shampoo right there, the yellow one. All right, volume shampoo. If you're somebody that has fine hair or thin hair, go volume. And the reason is because it actually is infused with not only biotin, it's got rice protein. All right. There's all sorts of hair tech in these products. All right. And that's one of the reasons why you want to make sure that you don't skimp when it comes to hair health, right? And hair products, right? A lot of the products you're going to find in the grocery store, drugstore, the reason why they can sell them for $5 is because they literally have 50 cents worth of ingredients in there. All right. And that's one of the downsides, right? When you start to upgrade the quality of the products you're using, your hair not only is going to look better, it's going to perform better, it's also going to be healthier. And for me, spending a little bit of extra money on better, higher quality products is great because I love my hair. I also want it to look amazing because I want compliments and I want my hair to be sexy, but I also want to make sure that it's as healthy as possible, right? So anyway, so the volumizing shampoo, amazing for you guys out there that's got thin hair or fine hair, right? Or your hair is starting to like kind of thin a little bit, like not just like thin hair strands, but actually like thin. It's great for adding volume, and it basically gives it a little bit of thickness through that rice protein. All right. And it's weightless. It's like literally weightless, which is great. You also, if you've got thin hair or fine hair, you want to make sure you're not using a heavy hair product or you're using a lot of product. All right. Less is more. I'd recommend checking out something like this, the texture powder or the sea salt spray, and maybe the clay from Pete and Pedro is a great option, right? Because it's going to be lighter and it's going to add a little bit of thickness and weight to your hair without weighting it down too much. But just don't use too much. Use little and less as opposed to more. All right. Hydrating shampoo is going to have actually argan oil in it. That's going to hydrate. If you've got dry hair, boom, you want to go hydrating. We've also got a bold shampoo in here, and the bold is awesome because it's just like it's like a bourbon shampoo that just smells so incredibly manly and masculine, and it's sexy. All right. And then we've got the classic clean, which has the tea tree oil and peppermint. All right. Tea tree oil is an antifungal. It also is incredibly healthy for your hair and your scalp. And so, if you guys want to check out the kit, we sell that now at Pete and Pedro, and it allows you to try a variety as opposed to committing to a big bottle. But once you find the big bottle that you like, boom, you're good to go, and you know what hair product or hair shampoo you are going to be rocking. Now, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to see some of these. All right. Any products for sensitive skin? Okay, so it depends on, okay, so Ross, it depends on what you're talking about in terms of sensitive skin, right? Um, you know, some people have reactions to different ingredients, different products. Most of the products that you're going to have issues with are going to be not great products, right? If you have a product that has a lot of sulfites, right? You've heard of sulfite and parabens, right? These are like not good, like EDC chemicals, right? All right, sulfites are actually like salts that they use to make things like foam up a lot, right? You want to look for things that are sulfite free and paraben free whenever possible. Parabens are like waxes. All right. That's another like environmental, not great product that they found to be kind of one of those like things that give people issues when it comes to like, some type of like dermatitis or skin issue. You just need to make sure that you're trying different products. And if there is something that does bother you, then you want to make sure you discontinue using it. Let me see. What other questions do we have? I'm going all the way up to the top. I'm going to see what you guys, what is the best treatment for hair loss that won't affect sexual performance? So great question, Chad Eddie. So here's the deal. We've actually been thinking about coming out with a hair loss treatment plan at Pete and Pedro because so many guys struggle with hair loss. I can tell you this. There are medications out there that are effective. All right. Two of those are Propecia and minoxidil. All right. Propecia is actually finasteride. Finasteride is the generic form, or I should say Propecia is a brand name of finasteride. So you've got finasteride and you've got minoxidil. All right. Typically, finasteride is something that you take orally. Now, some of you guys don't know this, probably not, but I am well versed in not only hair, but hair loss. Finasteride, and the crazy thing is usually like the way that they figure out like how some of these like products or these medications, like they do different things, kind of like the whole like Ozempic thing, right? It's originally designed for people that have like I believe it's like diabetes or something, right? But they found that all these people were starting to lose weight. They're like, wait a second, what's going on here? And they did testing and they found out that okay, there's another byproduct of this. Well, same thing happened with finasteride. Finasteride started as a prostate medication. So if you've got an enlarged prostate, finasteride was basically prescribed to people, but the dosage was different. All right. When it was prescribed for prostate, it was 5 milligrams. Well, what they found is that guys that were getting treated for prostate issues, all of a sudden were starting to get hair growth. And they're like, wait a second, what's going on? What have you changed? Right. Or what's going on with this? And so they did the research, they did a bunch of studies, I'm sure, and found that, okay, one of the byproducts to finasteride is that not only is it going to help your prostate shrink, it's also going to increase hair growth and stimulate hair growth and regrowth for dudes and stop your hair from falling out as well. And so they basically, so finasteride originally started as a prostate medication, but finasteride for prostate is 5 milligrams. The treatment for hair is 1 milligram. So they cut the dosage significantly. Most men, like 95% of dudes that take finasteride never have any issue or any sexual side effect, right? They're totally cool, totally good. All right. Some dudes do. Now, the good news is that recently they've actually come out with a topical finasteride product, right? I know Bosley RX. All right, Bosley does more than just hair replacement. They also have a service, Bosley RX, that basically ships you hair loss medication directly to your door, prescription, right? Well, one of the compounds that they're starting to work with is a combination. It's a topical finasteride minoxidil. Now, that brings me back to minoxidil. Minoxidil is Rogaine, right? Rogaine is one of the first hair loss medications that's out there, right? And it's a dropper, and you basically, you put it on your hair and you work it in, and then you go about your business, all right? And typically what you're going to have is finasteride and minoxidil typically are going to be prescribed together because they are kind of like the 1-2 punch. They work in different ways. Another thing you can do is look for some type of like DHT blocking shampoo. Bosley offers a Bosley shampoo, which helps like with the conversion from I think it's like the testosterone to DHT ditri. Anyway, I wasn't prepared to talk or give a dissertation about the it binding to hair receptors and all that. But bottom line is this: there are things that you can take and use that will help basically prevent the conversion to DHT, which is one of the things that causes hair loss. Anyway, they are now coming out with compounds. Some are sprays, some are like droppers, but you can find a topical finasteride minoxidil combo. All right, it's cutting edge technology, but typically they're going to be some type of compound. A lot of the places that sell hair loss medications are now doing this. It is not as effective as taking it orally, but it's more effective than not taking it. All right. And so the other thing you got to understand is that when it comes to hair loss and hair loss treatments, it's a treatment that you need to continue to do. If you stop, unfortunately, you are going to experience hair loss again. And so you just got to understand that. Now, the one thing that I just want to touch on, like hair restoration, I've talked about that a bunch, right? I went out and actually filmed somebody getting a hair transplant. The hairs that are transplanted on your head will never fall out. They will never fall out because the hairs back here in the back of your head and on the temples of your head, they are genetically like hardwired to never fall out. That's why you see dudes that go bald. They basically have hair just like the horseshoe, right? Well, what they do is they take that hair and they put it, where you're thin or where you're needing hair, right? The hair that they transplant will never fall out again. Now, the truth is that when you actually get a hair transplant, the hairs they transplant will fall out because of the trauma, but then they regrow, right? The root basically stays in there. The hairs will fall out and then they start to grow. At about 3 months, you're going to see those little hairs start to sprout out again, right? Which is super cool. They oftentimes will prescribe when you actually have a hair transplant, the finasteride and the minoxidil. And the reason is because it's not that they're trying to stop that stuff from falling out. That stuff will stay forever, honestly. It's they're trying to prevent future recession or loss in the hairs that haven't fallen out yet. So they're trying to keep you as thick as possible. All right. Now, a lot of times when it comes to hair restoration, you'll have to go back in for another option or another procedure where they'll transplant another like 1,000 grafts or whatever. When it comes to hair loss, though, you've got basically the cutting edge procedure, which is FUE or follicular unit extraction. All right. This is like cutting edge stuff where they actually, in the old days, they used to be noticeable, right? When somebody would get a hair transplant, you'd see like these like clumps or these like plugs. It didn't look natural. Now the technology is literally like almost like undetectable because they're inserting individual hair follicles spaced out. And the other interesting thing that I learned when I actually went out to Bosley is that on your head, you've got different follicles. Some follicles grow one hair. Some follicles actually sprout two hairs out of the same follicle. Some have three, some actually have four. And what they do is when they do a hair transplant, a natural looking hair transplant, I should say, they basically start with the ones in the front. The second row, you're going to have the twos, the threes, the fours as it fills in. And so it's a more soft, natural looking hairline. And it's pretty amazing to watch, honestly. So that's how you, best treatment for hair loss, in my opinion. Will you give us a list of your supplements you take each day? Yeah, sure. You want to know my supplements? I'll tell you my supplements. I am not on TRT. I've never been. I just had my testosterone level checked, which I was super pumped. It was over 700. Anyway, I take a bunch of supplements. They're all like natural supplements. One of the hair growth supplements I take though, is called Nutrafol. If you guys have ever heard Nutrafol, it's a natural hair supplement. If you guys are, losing your hair, you may want to do a little Google search for Nutrafol, like before and afters. It's a great product. I do take that because I am ultra concerned about my hair loss. I also take biotin gummies because once again, I am a nut about my hair. I take vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams a day. I take vitamin D3. I take K2. I actually take 5,000 IUs of vitamin D in pill form, but then I also, if you guys have ever watched my Alpha M videos, I take, what is it? Athletic Greens, right? Well, Athletic Greens comes with this like liquid vitamin D3 K2 supplement where it's like just 2 drops. I'll put that in my protein shakes in the morning. I also take extra zinc. I take a B complex. I take a multivitamin. I take prostate support. I take a mental cognitive support. And these are all like natural, like buy them on Amazon supplements. And let me think what else. L-carnitine, which is fat loss. And it also supports testosterone, I came to find out. Anyway, I think that's mainly the supplements that I take. Zinc, magnesium, vitamin D. Yeah, all the healthy stuff. Let's see. Your products have saved my hair's life. Thank you. They've saved my hair's life too. Can't wait for Icon. Neither can I, well-rounded dude. Icon. It's so I'm telling you guys, if you go to PeteandPedro.com, you can sign up, I believe, to be notified when it launches. And when we drop it, and here's the deal, we have changed the way we're going to be doing fragrances. Some of the fragrances you guys may have noticed have gone away, right? King, one of my favorite fragrances, right? It was inspired by Creed's Green Irish Tweed. You can't buy it anymore. And the reason is because we decided to, instead of doing like fragrances that last like, or that we have forever because of the inventory requirements, we're going to do like limited drops, 5,000 units. That's it. And then boom, we're done with it. All right. Icon is no different, right? So, Legend, we're currently in the process of selling through this, and the reason why we have so much of this, Legend, during the pandemic, we had to order like 10,000 units at a time, right? Normally, we order like 5,000, which is because they are custom formulas, but they were like, no, you have to order 10,000, and so we just had way too much, right? And so we've been discounting this stuff. If you go to the sale category at Pete and Pedro, there's also a bunch of deals right now going on where we're trying to basically move through some inventory based on some of our vendors. We found out we need to actually order larger quantities. But Icon, I think you can go and sign up to be notified when it drops. You need to do it. I'm telling you. You're not going to want to miss this one. We're not going to have it long. I think we're going to sell out fairly fast. So you might want to get on that list if you're interested. What are some hairstyles and hair products? Job interview, kind of talked about that. When are you going to free shipping for people who have a subscription for the products? We're talking about that. But here's the thing. You got to understand. Soft putty slaps. Smash that like button. Yes, please. Hello, Aaron. Please enjoy your Friday and your weekend. I will. Thank you. You too. Shipping is one of those things that as a business, it can kill you. Everybody has gotten conditioned on Amazon, right? Free shipping, free shipping, free shipping, free shipping. The problem is shipping is so expensive for the vendor. Like, even if I'm charging, say, $5, $6, like on orders under a certain dollar amount, I'm still losing money on those shipments. And it's one of those things where, shipping is just such a bitch when it comes to cost. It's expensive to ship things. And unfortunately, as a small business, like we're a small business, right? Even though we're doing like good numbers now, we're still a small business. And the shipping is one of the biggest expenses that we have in terms of a business. And, we have not raised our prices. That's one of the things that you got to understand. Our costs over the course of the past like 3 years specifically have skyrocketed. And my guy, Mike at Pete and Pedro, he's my marketing guy. Every single month, we look at the numbers. And every single month for the past 3 years, my profit margin has been dropping like a rock. And he keeps saying, charge more, increase the price, increase the price, increase the price. And I just won't do it. I just don't want to do it. And it's just one of those things where it just doesn't feel right to me. And as a consumer, I want to keep the prices where they are. Like, we're not the cheapest game in town. We're not the most expensive, but I feel like our prices are fair for the quality that we're charging. And, and shipping is one of those things where we offer free shipping if you order over a certain dollar amount. And if not, like, we do charge a small shipping fee. We are talking about possibly trying to include shipping if you are a subscriber. But once again, it's one of those things where, as a business owner, right, I've got to get the money from somewhere in order to keep the doors open. And I could either raise the price $3 on every unit or whatever, and I'll give everybody free shipping, and or have different like hurdles that people have to get. But the other cool thing is that we do offer discounts oftentimes to help like offset that. And so, unfortunately, I wish I could give free shipping. I just can't afford to. It's just not something that we can do, and still maintain our prices and discounts and stuff like that. And so, I get it. If you don't want to buy it because of the free shipping, I understand. Or you can, I don't know. But I'm sorry. I wish we could. But it's something that we've tried to massage the numbers, but I would rather keep your prices low and all that good stuff. Let me see. What other questions do we have? Do we have more questions? Oh, remember, guys, we got a discount, 25% off, live 25 on anything and everything that we sell at Pete and Pedro. What man? Look, let's go. Aaron, make video on how to look good in school. I will. God tier hair genetics for a man in his 40s. For the record, I'm almost 50. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? It's crazy that I'm almost 50, right? I still got abs. I still got my hair. I still don't have like crazy amounts of wrinkle. I got some gray hairs. I do not dye my hair. For the record, everybody accuses me of dyeing my hair. I don't do it. It's clean living, my friends, and Pete and Pedro, not to mention T. Hanley. Yeah, I'm almost 50. God, it's crazy. Let's see. Good stuff from Alabama. Great. Thank you so much, all you guys, for being here. Let's see. Aaron, your channel has totally changed my lifestyle. Thank you so much. You have changed my life for being here. Any products for sensitive skin? I kind of covered that. Let's see. What other questions? You guys have questions? Um, let's see. What about long hair below shoulders? What about it? Do it. Rock it. Here's the cool thing. And this is one of the things that I love about the time that we live in terms of hairstyle, right? The rules, you can pretty much toss them out the window. People are now embracing natural curls, natural body. It used to be everybody wanted like straight hair. Everybody was doing like a pompadour. Everybody was doing like skin fades. Everybody's hair was kind of like the same, or you're taking it like super short. Now, my God, right? Let your hair grow. Let it grow out a little bit. Embrace it, right? Love it. Let those locks of lusciousness flow like the salmon of Capistrano swimming up a stream, right? You gotta let those locks rock, right? And a more natural hairstyles, the more flowing locks, embracing your texture, curls, waves, right? It's never been better than ever. Like, everybody's kind of embracing it. And so we live in a time where, it's really cool to kind of embrace just your natural texture and let it rock. And you don't need to over product it, which is another pro tip I'd like to give you guys. If you want your hair style to be better, use less product. Try using half as much product and just see what happens, right? Maybe try using that texture powder with your product, right? It's about mixing. It's about matching. It's about coordinating. It's about cocktailing. You can try to, style your hair in different ways. And it's about experimentation. There is a learning curve whenever you start or try a new hair product, right? There's a learning curve. And it's not like all of a sudden you're going to switch to a new product and you're going to just try and be like, oh my God, it's the greatest, right? A lot of times you have to learn that product. You've got to learn the style. All right. But it also takes you being honest with your hair. If you've got super pencil thin hair and you want a ton of volume, right? And you're trying to do like, some like, wavy curly thing, it's not going to do it. You got to be honest with your hair product and your hairstyle. All right. You also need to make sure that you're using the right hair product for the style that you're going for. This is one of the most common mistakes that people make. They think that they need, a putty when they need a pomade, or they need a pomade when they need a paste. Like, depending on your hairstyle, depending on the look and the style that you're going for, is going to determine what product you need. The reason why you've got pomades, the reason why you've got putties, the reason why you've got clays and paste and curl creams and leave-in like, the reason why all these products exist is because they do different things and they are facilitating different hairstyles. And so the best thing you can do is learn your hair. And that's one of the reasons why at Pete and Pedro, if you go there, like peteandpedro.com, we've got a ton of quizzes, right? We've really gone deep in the custom recommendations, because unfortunately, a lot of guys just don't know. Like, they'll use a product that's like, oh, I remember, like, for a while, like, everybody was using pomades, right? Pomade. If you're, everything was called a pomade, right? Like, even though there were different styles, everybody was calling it a pomade. Now, I think the education has gotten a lot better when it comes to men and their hairstyles. And there's a lot more information out there on, YouTube and in the world about different styles and different products that are used and that are better for different styles and different hair textures and types, right? It's gotten a lot better now. But in the old days, everybody was like, oh, a pomade, right? Pomades are like one product. There are so many advances that have been made in hair styling product technology, hairstyling product options. You've got to sort of embrace it. If you've been using the same product for a long time, even if it's a Pete and Pedro product, maybe it's worth experimenting and trying a different one, right? To see. And if you don't like it, no big deal. Give it to a friend. Like, let your dad try it, your weird Uncle Barry or your boy, right? Hey, this product didn't work for me, but you've got longer hair. Maybe it'll work for you, right? Give it a try. Give it away, right? But we've got a bunch of quizzes at Pete and Pedro. We've also got this custom recommendation. It's like a custom grooming quiz. Like, there's a ton of technology that went into building this. And even though, like, these quizzes seem like, oh, it's so simple, right? It's not simple. And whenever it looks simple, typically that means that the user experience and the time and development and everything that's gone into it, is really, it's not simple, is all I'm trying to say. And so go experiment, use these quizzes, try it out. Something else that we've been doing at Pete and Pedro, and I'm not sure if you guys have seen them yet, but we've been really kind of going harder with the content and really trying to do better, more engaging, more informational videos, right? We just did one recently for like thinning and thin hair, fine and thin hair. That's awesome, right? We're getting a lot of research that's going into these things, a lot of information, and we're really trying to up our production value in the videos. And it's not just like me coming on and being like, hey guys, like, what's happening? You're awesome. And use this product, check this out. We're really trying to do better in terms of the content. We also recently launched some women's products. Pete and Pedro, and let me just clarify something. Pete and Pedro will always, and I'm gonna salt drop on this one, always be a men's hair product company. Always. Hair drop, a salt drop. I don't want to drop it because I don't want it to splatter. But that doesn't mean that we have a lot of dudes that have like spicy senoritas that are like, hey, do they have any products for us? And so we basically went to our lab and created a few products, not a ton, just like 10 products. And we're probably going to get rid of like 3 of them. And so it's just a way for, like, if you've got a girlfriend, a wife, a mother, right? We already knew that we had like 30% women shopping at our site. And so why not give them something and help them have great hair too? Because Pete and Pedro, whether or not it's a women's product or a men's product, we make, pardon my language, effing amazing products. And so we thought, you know what? Let's get it some for the dude spicy senorita. So if you got a woman, a girl, a guy in your life that you want to check out and help out and get them amazing hair, we also have like gift sets that you can buy. And like I said, right now, limited time for the next like 2 hours, probably down to like 1 hour. If you use the code LIVE25, you're going to get 25% off your entire order. Go check it out. Anyway, just for the record, we will always be a men's product company, but there are people that are so like just like ignorant and like giving me shit. They're like, oh, you sold out. Now you want to be something for everybody. No, I don't. I do, however, want to basically give women, if they have, specific needs, I want to have some products for them. It's not going to be the focus of Pete and Pedro. Just don't ever worry about that. We're always guys. So be aware of that. Let's see. Any other, make videos on how to look good in school, well run and do, blah, blah, blah. Are those sizes for shampoos available individually too? Yes, they are. I think they are. Yeah, I think, yeah. So I believe that you can get these individually. If you don't want to buy the full set, I think you can buy the smaller size individually if you want to just check them out. Is 10-day stubble still most attractive facial hair for females in 2024? The answer is yes. The data still reports that. I actually looked into that the other day. Best products when you keep your hair very short, not buzz, but just short, but just long enough to style. Great question, Robert. I would try this product right here, the texture powder. I would try it. If you don't want to look like you've got product, but you just want to give it a little bit of movement. Like I love one of the hairstyles that I love is the French crop, right? It's kind of like it's like a modern like Caesar cut, but it's got a lot of variations, right? You can do a lot of different things with it. Typically, the French crop is going to be a hairstyle that is down. It's not going to be super long, but what characterizes it and really makes it sexy is a lot of movement and a lot of texture. All right. The way that you're going to achieve this is through the product, something like a texture powder, just a texture powder or sea salt spray, so that it's not just like laying flat. But the other thing is when it gets cut. And that's the other thing. Another pro tip, if you guys are looking to up the quality or the style of your hair, go to a stylist versus a barber. Barbers are great at fading. So if you've got something like super tight fade, super skin fade, like that's great. Like a barber is going to be better at fading, but they're not as good as a stylist in terms of texturizing the top or creating volume, layers, and movement through the haircut, right? If you go into a barber, what do? They spend like, 30 minutes on fading and making sure everything's good. And then the top, they comb it over, gonna snip, 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 comb it back, snip, 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 comb it over, snip, 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 done, right? That's what they do. A stylist is going to be a different experience. All right, quick plug, Salon Post. If you're ever in the Marietta, Atlanta area, come on. Our people are great. All right. I'm using David lately. He's just amazing. DJ's great. Cassidy's great. We got a lot of incredible hairstyles. But what you're going to see is that they're going to be able to add a lot more texture and volume in that hair, right? They're going to create different layers of your hair. And when this happens, your hairstyle looks more interesting. It also has more movement and it typically is going to give it more volume. And then when you combine it with something like a texturizing powder or, the putty and use a little bit and just get it in there, it's amazing what happens. The volume is next level and it just looks different than like regular haircuts, right? But the French crop is one of my favorite, and something that's short like a crew cut, I think also is a great option in terms of just getting a little bit more texture and volume through either the cutting or they'll use like a razor, right? A razor, when you see a stylist or somebody break out the razor, typically that is going to be done in order to create more definition in your hair so that it's not just like one length and boring, so that it isn't like heavy and weighted down. Because that's one of the things. If your hair is very weighty and heavy and typically like goes flat, you definitely need to look into getting some type of volume through a better haircut. All right. The haircut does make a difference. Let's see. Read my super chat so that we know. Super. Read my super chat so that we know that this really. I'm looking for. Where's the super chat? Did I guess? I don't even know, dude. Hold on. Did I get a super chat? Hold on. Let me. This isn't pre-recorded. Hold on. Where I'm looking. Oh, super chat. Message deleted by Pete and Pedro women. Huh? Oh. You said. Wait. I don't even know what's going on. This is not pre-recorded for the record. Let's see. Aaron, if you could have one product from Pete and Pedro, which would it be? If you could have one product from Pete and Pedro, what's it going to be? It's going to be the putty. Soft putty is, in my opinion, like the best product ever made. Putty is amazing, but it is, like I was talking about earlier, a little bit like harder to emulsify. And one other thing, real quick, when you're using and emulsifying, you got to make sure your hands are dry. If you have, and anybody who's tried this knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you've got damp hands or wet hands and you try to basically distribute that hair product, it's just going to like get that little clump and like move it around a little bit. You got to have dry hands before you emulsify. The clay or the putty, best hair product on the market, period. All right. But the soft putty was an accident and it's super easy and creamy, like to emulsify, right? It's just like, ready? Check this out. Boom. It's just like, bleh. It's just like butter. It's just creamy and easy. It's just like, now I've got putty all over me. I'm going to put it in my hair. My hair's going to be rough. It's just so creamy. You don't need to really work it that hard. And then it just goes in. Oh, smooth like butter. and it holds all day. It's crazy versatile. My hair, I told you my hair would be whacked by the end of the day, at the end of the live stream. But yeah, soft putty would be the product that if I only had one, it would be for the rest of my life. All right. So if that doesn't answer your question, nothing will. Let's see. Scent smell bad. Fortnite chapter 5. I don't know. Aaron, how do you feel about gel? Gel and gel. Gel, I think there's a time and a place. I think gel is kind of like a dated product. Typically gels are going to have a super high alcohol content. All right. Alcohol is bad for your hair. If you have like product and it's got like alcohol in there, it's drying your hair out, right? The other problem with gels typically is that it's going to make your hair really stiff, and it's also not going to give it any movement, right? And I think it doesn't look as good, and it also looks very wet. And I think gels, I I think there was a time and a place for it. I think we've evolved though, stylistically and from a product perspective. But other than that, I think, if you find a product, and let me just clarify this, and I guess we're going to wrap things up soon. If you have a product, it doesn't matter if I say it's not good. It doesn't matter if somebody on the internet says it sucks. If it works for you and you love it, screw them, use it, rock it. Now, that being said, there is a difference when it comes to quality. And I'm not saying this just so you buy Pete and Pedro products, but there is a difference. The reason why they're able to sell Old Spice hair product for the price that they do, or Axe or Dove or whatever it is not because they've got quality ingredients and they just are mass producing it so they get a really good deal on it. It is not that. All right. Trust me. This goes for pretty much any product, including skincare. If you're finding it over the counter and it's a cheap product, or even if it's not cheap, and that's the other thing, a lot of the products you're going to find in stores, they're crap quality, but they've got a good brand name, right? They've got a lot of marketing dollars behind whatever the company is to really push it out there, and they give it a good, they really do, they're the best job they can, really, trying to build it up in terms of the perceived value, but it's shit quality. Most of the products you're going to find in a drugstore and in a grocery store are bad in terms of quality. All right. Because of the ingredients. The reason why they can sell them so affordably is because the ingredients aren't high quality. Higher quality ingredients cost more to make, period. The reason why my deodorant is a $20 deodorant that I sell is because, you can't, I can't make my deodorant, like my cost for what you're buying these cheaper deodorants, like a Speed Stick or Old Spice or Dove or what. I can't make a high quality product for cheap. The ingredients just cost more. The raw ingredients cost more when it's a higher quality product. But you've got to decide, is it worth it? For me, it's worth it, right? I would rather, and the more I learn about products, everything from, like ball powders to, deodorants, right? The more I research, the more I learn about like the products and the quality of the products that we use and the EDC chemicals, the more I realize that I need to, and you need to, whether or not you want to or not, you need to upgrade them, because just like the quality of the food, right? And this is something where I didn't always believe. It was kind of like texture powder and sea salt spray. I was not always a believer in organic and the importance of hey, if you can eat organic, you should probably do it. I wasn't a huge believer. I'm not somebody who thinks everything's going to give them cancer either. But the more I learn, the more I research about EDC chemicals and these hormones that are being put in, the foods that we're consuming and the pesticides and stuff like that. My body is a temple. And I've often said, your health is your number one most valuable asset. Without it, nothing else matters. I'm going to do a little test right now. All right. If I gave you $1 million, would you be excited? All right, I'm gonna up the ante. $10 million. If I gave you $10 million, how pumped would you be? You'd be super pumped. But what if I told you only had 1 week to live? Would you still take that $10 million? Of course not. And that's the thing. Your health is your most valuable asset. Money doesn't buy health. And that's the thing you got to understand. It doesn't matter how rich you are, right? If you're not healthy, nothing else matters. All right. You got to be healthy. And so using and ingesting quality products, including using higher quality products that are healthy for your body, that don't have the EDC chemicals, it's critical that you do. And I am not some crazy crystal waving fanatic, right? I don't believe that ionized water can cure everything, but I do believe that our bodies need to be protected, and using higher quality products are critical for you being healthy and living a healthy, happy life and looking amazing when you're a 50-year-old dude like I am. I'm not 50 yet. I'm 47. I think 47. but I'm getting close. Anyway, this was amazing. We've been on now for an hour, and I just wanted to say once again, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and for being and making my dream come true. Once again, anything you want to check out at Pete and Pedro for the next like hour or two, if you use the discount code live25, all right, that bad boy is going to give you 25% off your entire order. All right. But it's for a limited time. And when it's done, it's done. But what's not done is you guys being awesome. And if you guys dug this, let us know down in the comments. Say, yo, this was awesome. And we'll do it again. Because I personally, as you can tell, like to talk. And apparently, I love the live stream, even though I haven't been live streaming ever in my life other than the last 2 months. And if you haven't checked out the White Label Empire, or the Empire YouTube channel, Alpha Empire YouTube channel. Go check it out. Subscribe if you're into business. We're dropping bombs of knowledge over there. And at Pete and Pedro, we're dropping bombs of amazing products every day. Guys, thanks so much for everything. We love you. Look amazing and enjoy your bueno hair. Bye. How do I end this thing? That's it.